I'll show you a little bit of my office, which I've really turned into a Western Arts Museum. Got a lot of pictures. These pictures, most of them came from Peggy Sue's restaurant over in California on Barstow. The first one I'll show you is Gary Cooper. Of course, he won an Academy Award, and I guess his two most famous pictures would be High Noon. Tex Ritter sang the song. It's a classic, and also he did Sergeant York. In fact, when in Sergeant York, the real Sergeant York, Gary Cooper is the only person he would let portray him, and he would take no money from doing it. Brave man. Now let's move over a little bit to your left. Now there's Roy Rogers. Let's zoom in a little bit, zoom out, and Trigger to the left, and Bullet to the right. Bullet was mostly seen on his TV program. Trigger he bought on credit from a stockman. They were bonded together for everything. You notice the Trigger's laughing. If you want to teach your horse to do that, all you need to do is cut an onion in half and put it under the horse's nose, and then give him a real treat, and you're on your way to making your horse famous. Now let's move down here just a little bit. Here's one of the things that every kid loved when I was a child. Howdy Doody Time, a puppet, Buffalo Bill Bob, and some of the main characters was Flubber the lawyer, I guess, and it was on television, I believe, right around 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now we're going to move on over to my left a little bit, and there's a picture I got. I like that one. Robert Redford and Paul Newman joined Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And we'll move on over a little further. There's my Chaps on the wall. This Chaps came from the Dallas, Texas, or Dallas, Arizona. They're batwing Chaps. Both of them. Shotgun Chaps wrap around your leg. Let's come over here. Here's another man from our cowboy movie culture, Tom Mix. Tom Mix was actually born in Pennsylvania, became a rodeo star, and worked his way on to Hollywood, and his horse's name was Tony. And when Tony died, of course, they had a Tony Jr. Now, here we go. Gene Autry. A good book to read on him is Public Cowboy #1. Now, Gene had a humble beginning. I think he broke in the music business with the song Silver Haired Daddy of Mine. And in those days, you did what was known as cover songs. One artist may put a song out, another 10 or 15 artists may also duplicate it. And his horse, Champ, and he had a Champ too. Gene Autry has got 4 or 5 stars on the Hall of Fame. He was really good at taking care of people who helped him as he got older. In fact, when he died, he was worth $240 million. And he was a great American. He flew bomber planes during the Second World War. And here's a picture. I don't know much about it. I like it. I got it at swap meet for $5. I'll go up just a little bit further there. There's my Kentucky long rifle. No, that's not a real one. That's reputation. But I used to belong to Maryland muzzle loaders. Oh, and there we go. The Lone Ranger. The #1 Lone Ranger we ever had, Clayton Moore. And he has a nice book. I got a lot of information on him. It was called Not Without My Mask. And he was actually a trapeze artist as a young person going to school. And let's come on over here. Here we go. Hopalong Cassidy. Now, an interesting thing about Hoppy, and his horse's name is Topper. Hopalong was considered to be a singing cowboy, although Bill Boyd never did any singing. Now, he was a very good business person. In those days, a B-Western movie would take approximately 60 minutes. But he bought up all those movies, and he shaved off 12 minutes. That's what you need to do a commercial, 12 minutes worth of commercials. and he had Hopalong Cassidy's Club. I used to have a Hopalong Cassidy bank where you put your quarters, nickels in between the top of his hat. And another great American. Come on down. There's a wagon wheel. If you look at it, I'm going to put that, make a light, light out of it, lantern, and some ropes, some things I have. And let's see, come on over here a little further. There's another one of my, now that gun there, that's a 22, I think it's a Remington. Bought from Aunt on her farm, it's a rolling block. And when I was a kid, I could hit, if I could see a Coca-Cola can, I could hit it. Let's come on over here. There's one of my guitars and my bookcases I'm adding. Most of my books got lost when I moved out west. Little 36 Navy there, a replica, but nice to shoot. Now look at that oil painting. Now I actually did. I didn't have a lot of money when I was young, and that's a paint by numbers. I don't think it's going to be worth too much money. And there's a closer view of the Batwing Chaps. Let's come on over here. There's a picture of John Wayne. Always thought was one of the best cowboys out. Great actor, I thought. But what I really liked about him is he did so many of his movies with John Ford in Monument Valley. In fact, I took an 8-hour horseback ride in Monument Valley. Little trivia on John Wayne. That was his third name. His mother, I think Wayne Morrison was one of his names, but when his older brother came along, his younger brother came along, his mother took the name away from him and gave it to the new kid. He got the name Duke. The fireman gave him that name because he would, when his dog would follow him to school, the dog's name was Duke. And he got discovered in Hollywood as he was a stuntman. He would have been wanted to be a football player, but he got hurt in a surfing accident. But John Ford took a liking to him. And he worked his way on up. I guess his first really big hit was Stagecoach. Now, John Wayne would tell you Stagecoach established him as a star. But Red River, I repeat, Red River established him as an actor. And let's come on. Oh, there's Matt and Miss Kitty and Festus. Oh, by the way, Festus was actually the son-in-law of John Ford. Miss Kitty died a tragic death, and there's Doc and James Arnaz. James Arnaz and John Wayne were pretty good buddies, real good buddies actually. And you can see him sometime in the movie Hondo. And you'll see he actually was much taller than John Wayne. And here's another picture of Lone Ranger and Clayton Moore. Jay Silverstreet, a real Canadian Indian. And everybody loved him. And his horse's name was Scout. Now, you see Silver. In actuality, they had 3 different silvers. One would be good for riding in the movies. One would be for maybe standing on 2 feet. And you had to be careful if you had a horse that did that, because someone could give the horse a cue and it would throw you off. And there's a picture of me roping 3 children at a Frederick Keys baseball game. I could only do that for about 5 seconds, but someone snapped a picture and it went off to the Baltimore Sun. Little book I'm reading on. Let's come over. I got some more pictures. I'm going to buy some more saddlebags, or my wife gave them to me as a Christmas present or as a present, because I went across the country 8,000 miles selling a magazine. I wrote Rest of the West, and I would go into the stores with with that over my shoulder, my magazines I wanted to sell. And there's Gary Cooper again with Grace Kelly, and from the final scene, I believe, in High Noon. Now this is by far my best picture of John Wayne, and this is from Hondo. And that dog, if you're trying to think, I've seen that dog someplace before. Well, you have. That dog was the same dog that was Lassie. Put a little bit more fur on him, give him a mean growl, and he was part of the Hondo movie. Hondo originally was a short story written by Louis L'Amour, and Duke wanted to make a picture out of it, or Hollywood did, and he agreed to endorse Louis L'Amour's new book, a total book on about Hondo, and Louis L'Amour endorsed the movie. And there's another good movie, Earl Flynn. I don't know what picture it was from, but I always liked him as an actor. One of his favorite movies that I really like was They Died with Their Boots On, where he played General Custer. Okay, I think that's enough of playing with this camera today. Well, that little trophy there, I won that either doing my whips or guns, I can't remember which one, and had a lot of fun at a small club. Okay, this is Cowboy Ron saying so long from Happy Trails of the West. Until next time, please be safe.